Hello, how are you? I am back again, and today I thought I'd do another Jo Malone video. So today I'm going to be talking about Jo Malone's Cologne Intense, and this is the Oud and Bergamot. Now I used to have a full-size bottle of this, and now I just have a miniature. I think this is like 9 or 10 mils, 9 mils. And yeah, I used to love this perfume. I thought it was so beautiful. I thought it was warm and lovely, and I just loved wearing it. I used the entire bottle up. I thought it was just dreamy and beautiful, and that was about 3, maybe even 4 years ago. And recently I've kind of revisited it in this miniature form, and you know what? I'm not that into it anymore. Like, I'm kind of over it. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's like I've changed my taste. I don't know if they've released like other perfumes which are similar but different and I prefer the other ones. But I thought I'd talk about it because, you know, why not? You know, what else have we got to do right now? We're in lockdown again. Speaking of which, how is everybody doing? I'm finding this lockdown a little bit harder because I think it's like a mix of January blues and lockdown, but at the same time it's like it's kind of cold and dark, so it's easier to stay in. I'm in mixed feelings. Anyway, how are you doing? If you're feeling a bit like lonely or miserable, message me. I'll send you a voice note. Anyway, onto the perfume. So this is Jo Malone's Cologne Intense Eau de Bergamot. I'm already wearing it today, but to be honest, I can't smell it anymore. Like, it's already lifted off me, which is crazy. So on first hit, you do get the bergamot, which is kind of like quite a fresh, like quite Earl Grey bergamot. It's got like a hint of something else citrus in there. I think it might be like a lemon or a grapefruit or something, but it's kind of more than just bergamot. It kind of has more like an Earl Grey kind of accord. It is very bright, it's very fresh, but it's got this kind of unusual tang, which is almost like, I don't know, maybe like more of a grapefruit note. And then at the heart, it's cedarwood, which apparently has a little bit of bramble in it, which I kind of get because once the top notes kind of ease off, you do get this kind of like slightly juicy, woody kind of vibe, which I actually quite like. I love a good bramble. And then at the base, you've got oud, but it's not the heaviest, darkest oud I've ever smelled. It is kind of like quite a soft oud, and actually it's got an accord of praline in there, so it's quite sweet. And yeah, it's kind of unusual because normally oud is really like heady and intense and quite masculine, but this one's not. It's kind of like quite smooth, almost quite like soft and suede-y and praline-y. And I don't know, I kind of like my ouds a little bit darker and richer. That's my boyfriend's come home. 2 seconds. Hey! Don't worry. Don't worry, I'm just filming. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of how it smells. It's kind of bright, it's kind of fresh. It's kind of woodsy and smoky, but it's also quite sweet with the praline. It's got quite a heavy Earl Grey accord. I really do get the brambly vibe. I really do get the kind of, the praline, kind of smooth, essential, almost kind of musky, suede-y note. The Earl Grey is very Earl Grey. Yeah, it's kind of everything it's meant to be. But for some reason, it just doesn't get me anymore. Like, I used to love this one. I thought it was so beautiful. But now I'm just kind of like, I'm over it. I feel like the longevity isn't quite there for me. I think there's other ones from the collection which last better. I think myrrh and Tonka lasts better. I think dark amber and ginger lily, that lasts so much better. This for me, I feel like lifts off my skin a little bit. Like, I'm sure if I combined it with more of the Bath and Body products, it might last better. But I don't know, this one I used to be really into and now I'm kind of over, if I'm honest. I probably would buy the candle again, but I think as an actual personal perfume, as a cologne, I don't know. I think I'd go for more dark amber and ginger lily, maybe a little bit more myrrh and Tonka. I don't know, maybe pomegranate noir. For me, this one's not hitting the spot anymore, and I don't know if it's just me and the way I'm feeling and the season that I'm in and the kind of the vibes I'm personally going for at the moment. But I think the sweetness of the praline is just not really hitting me anymore, and I don't know, I'm just over it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Velvet Rose and Oud. So if you like Velvet Rose and Oud, this might be one to consider. Kind of reminds me of Myrrh and Tonka, but a little bit more sweet and Earl Grey. And I actually prefer Myrrh and Tonka. And it also reminds me of Dark Amber and Ginger Lily a little bit, but not as good. Do you know what I mean? Like, Dark Amber and Ginger Lily is like so pretty and it's so joyful to wear, and this doesn't, I don't know, it's similar but not as good. It doesn't hold the same joy for me. Like, I'm really looking for perfumes at the moment which feel like a lot more joyful, and this kind of feels like nice, but it doesn't capture joy as much. Like, Poppy and Barley is like so joyful, and like Orange Blossom is so joyful, and like so many of them just capture so much joy, like Blackberry and Bay, or the Fig and Lotus Flower. Like, they're so joyful, and this just doesn't give me the joy, and that's kind of what I'm looking for in my perfumes at the moment. Like, a little bit of like opulence, but also joy, and I don't know, it's just not hitting the spot for me anymore. Maybe that's just me. Maybe in like 6 months time I'll be obsessed with it again, but right now, not so much. Maybe the candle. I feel like I could be more interested in the candle, and I don't know why. Anyway, what else did I want to mention? Oh, fragrance combining. If you have the Oud and Bergamot and you want to combine it with other fragrances in the collection, you can make it a little bit fresher with Lime Basil Mandarin or with English Oak and Hazelnut. That will kind of make it feel a bit more fresh and lively and kind of lift it up, and maybe that will add the joy that I'm looking for. But if you want it a little bit more warm and kind of a little bit more evening-y and sensual, then you could combine it with a Myrrh and Tonka or pomegranate noir. But yeah, that's kind of my video. So this one, I'm kind of over. I used to love it, and I just feel like Myrrh and Tonka has just kind of taken its place for me. And I love Dark Amber and Ginger Lily so much, and it kind of reminds me of those two, but not as good. However, it does really remind me of Velvet Rose and Oud as well. And if you like Velvet Rose and Oud, maybe this could be another one for you, like more of an alternative. I think it's a sweet note. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling sweet perfumes at the moment, and this one's just got a hint too much like praline in it for me, I think, right now. Anyway, that's my video. I hope it's of help. I hope it's of interest. My fragrance tastes are always changing, so I'm sure in about 2 years I'll be obsessed with it again, and I did love it, but just now, I don't know, it's not getting me. We're not on the same page, you know? We're just not on the same page, me and this perfume anymore, so I just thought I'd share that with you, and I hope it's of help. And yeah, if you are looking for a perfume which has a little bit more longevity as well, I would definitely go for Dark Amber and Ginger Lily, because that lasts so well. Anyway, that's my video. Thank you so much. I will see you again soon. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.